everyone, welcome to another Let's Build It here at the Quarry Penthouse. Hope your building is going well, whatever you are doing. As for me, I am here at the Dunwich Boars Quarry here, and this is episode number 2. Last episode got a huge start in regards to figuring out what we're doing here, and over there you can see that's where I'm going to put in the main penthouse area. I think I can squeeze 2 floors over there. It's looking like I can. And then this hallway going across here over into this section, which turned out to be an awesome use of space and I had no idea there's this much space or workable space back there. And I want to continue on with the edging that we started on that hallway section. And I just wanted to finish it off. I want it to match the rest of the quarry, which is kind of that marble. So I figured I'd use these stair sections here. This is the shorter one because I don't want it to go too low. So this is kind of the shortest I had. I don't have a marble block, but this back side here, as you see, I'll bring this down here. As I was saying, this back side has a pretty good, decent size and flat surface that once put up against here, like with this other one that we did last time, it gives it that illusion that it is carved into the stone there, and it just looks a whole lot better. Not to mention, as I said in that first one, that little edge looks pretty good. So I'm going to continue putting these little edge pieces on just to finish that off, make it look nice, and also from below when you look up, because it's the stairs. As you see the stairs here, the back is fine and the bottom is flat. It's just the stair section that we're sinking into the rock where you can't see it. So I'm going to put the rest of these in, and then we'll keep going. Okay, down to this last piece here, and I actually lucked out pretty well because it looks like it's going to fit just right if I adjust it here over to the side. Just want to make sure I get the same level. And I'm thinking I might have this extra piece. No, you know what? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to extend the hallway to the edge. I was thinking about putting a little extra room or maybe a perch or like a lookout type thing on the corner there, but I don't want to keep adding on all these decks and levels, so I think I'm just gonna put this one in here, just like that, and close off and end this whole hallway. So now this whole front section, as you can see, is all finished. Looks good. This little main Quarry Penthouse, this front room area, I think is going to look nice. Once the windows are in, I like the shape of it. It's pretty cool. And I think there's enough room in there to build a tight space. Not a huge like that other side, but I think just enough space to get living room, kitchen, the normal kind of things. And then upstairs on the second level, I'm thinking bedroom type area. Now that I'm looking at this space, I think I want to add just a little more space in that corner there. I feel like it's, with the way the hallway comes in, I think I need to add a little more. And I'm not sure how much. I'm thinking just this here. So I'm trying to get these to snap, but they don't seem to want to snap. So I'll have to use Quappa here. But I'm thinking just a little bit of extra space just to match up with that one floor piece right over there. Can't seem to grab this one. Doesn't, oh, there we go. So just even with this other one. So as you come to the hallway or from the hallway, you'll notice we have a little more room in that corner area there. So by extending these just a little bit, and then I'll get rid of this other piece here, because I don't think I need that much extra space. Although it would be nice if I had a kitchen. Let's try to line this one up. There we go. If I have the kitchen close by, I might need that extra space. See this square here on the edge? I'm not sure if I'm going too far. Let me move the scaffolding here, just so I can get a better look at the size of this thing. Okay, so this little square that hangs out here, not sure. I definitely could use that space. I just don't want to make this whole area too big, and I think it's sticking out that far might be a little too much. And if I delete that piece, it looks like it's going to take the whole upper section, so that's not good. By deleting that one, so by deleting this one, I get more space in the back, but the whole top area is now missing. So now I got to cover that roof section up above, which will have to be like the stairs or something, which is not ideal because it doesn't have a smooth surface on the top. It's just all stairs, and I don't want the rock to appear like it's just a bunch of staircases. But I do want this extra space here, because I'm thinking I'm going to jam the kitchen back in here. I think I can squeeze a small kitchen in there. So, as I said, by deleting that one, let me get this one in here. 2 squares wide. Just line that up. I really wish these would snap better, and for some reason, especially when I'm using the mods, these don't want to snap. Sometimes they do, but when I've got multiple collision stuff like the ground, the side things, for some reason they don't want to play nice and they don't want to snap, which is a real pain because I got to put these in one by one. Now this is not a big deal because I'm going to come back through here and put in flooring of different textures and stuff. So having these floors look perfect doesn't really matter to me, but when you're doing other ones, it's kind of a pain when they don't snap. So I'm going to grab another staircase here, and I think I'm going to go with a larger one. That one has more surface on the back, and I definitely want that marble texture to continue and make it look like it's built into the quarry. So we'll use this big one here. Grab this, and I might have this one go all the way down. I'm not sure. I'm going to drop this one in, see how it looks. But I just want to break up the plane so it's not all like underneath. I want it to look a little more random. So maybe putting in this one here. Just line that up. Just so when I lay the other ones in, they're somewhat straight. So putting this one in, it hangs down a little more, but I kind of like that. I want this to look like it's cut out of the marble. I want it to look like they've been working there, and some of these sections have been removed, maybe for material or whatnot, but that's what I want to do. And I think by using these pieces and having them hang lower, I think might just look better and break it up a bit. And as I said, I'm thinking about going all the way down, but I do like the fact that this overhangs, so I'll probably just leave it like this. Now this one, I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm just going to match it about there, mainly because of the texture. I need to break it up a little more because one edge is light and one is dark. And if I start matching too many of those together, it's very noticeable because it's dark light, dark light, dark light. So I kind of move that one over just a bit so it's not quite as dark as the edge there. And then this last piece I'll put on the edge. I just put this into the ground and then grab it just because it's a little easier to place. And a lot of times I've found that when I grab it too high without putting it down, sometimes you set your object and then you can't get your post out because it's buried within something. So this one here, as you see, because of the texture, I'll lay this one in just at a slight angle. That way I can kind of disguise it into the other one. This is very tedious here just to get it just right. But if you have just a slight angle, you can, like right about there, you can just get it. And it's not as noticeable. Then you don't have a vertical line right where your other piece is. So I do that with a lot of my stuff where I'm trying to blend two things, is if you have one at just a slight angle, it helps. So I'm going to fill in the rest of these real quick, and then we'll keep building and figuring out what we're going to do with some of this other section. As you can see, finished off nice. We got this all cleaned up again, and we now have this newer added square section here. That's going to give us a lot more room to build here. I do want to grab one more of these pieces and fill in. Not that you really notice it. You will notice it from below, but I want it to look somewhat realistic. So this undersection here, I want it to go all the way across to the wall there, to the other wall, just to make a little more sense as to it being a cutout or an overhang. And I think by adding this little piece in here, let's get a little angle here, get that in there. I think by doing this, I need to get a better angle to do this. See, this is where I need to build more scaffolding, but by adding this piece in here, this might make it look a little more random as far as the rock. It's not quite big enough to allow me to do that. See there. So I just might jam it up higher here, just make it look a little more uneven, unnatural, but at the same time getting rid of that edge there. And then I'll put another piece on the other side. But I definitely think that looks a lot better. I'm going to add in some more scaffolding here just so I can work better. this other piece in just to finish off this little square here, make it look a little more natural, get a little bit of an angle there so I can blend it in. Might even be able to do this whole piece. But by adding this one in a slight angle, I can disguise it a lot more. Now it looks like one larger piece if you get it just right. It's not perfect, but it's a little less noticeable. So I'll do something like this. There we go. That's a little better. Then I'll have to fill in that little backspace there, underneath there, just so it's all one section. I could come all the way down to the water, but kind of want to leave that ledge underneath. Maybe even a waterfall or something coming off of that. Okay, so we got this last piece in. We filled in that back area. I made each one a little bit different, so now it looks a little more like a chunk carved out, or multiple chunks have been carved out, so it's not too finished off. I think it works pretty good. And we're able to keep that ledge down there for our little swimming ledge. What I need to do now is I want to cover that top of the stairs area there. Since I used the marble stairs to do that, there's a hole. It's kind of created a void in the middle. I thought it might be cool to put maybe some kind of texture in there, some kind of concrete or something like that. Maybe even a metal grate. Okay, so I got this metal grating here. I think this might work good. It's a little larger than I need, but I'm thinking I can quap it in and make it look a little more like it's supposed to be there, and match a little more with the aesthetic on this quarry. So I'll squeeze this one in here. Right there. It's pretty close size-wise. I think good enough. And I just set it down just enough. We don't see the entire thing. And let's get this in. I think there we go. You can kind of see down in. Maybe I'll put some gravel in there or something like that. I would like just a marble top, but I don't have any marble pieces that are flat, that are that big. Unless I do a bunch of stairs, and I don't want to do that, because then you'll notice that quite a bit. But I want to jump on adding in the, when you come down the stairs, I want that like an outer patio. I don't want the stairs to come right down into the house. I think I want some kind of deck. So we'll put down some deck flooring, find some kind of concrete. Some of these sanctuary ones are nice, but I think it doesn't quite match. So I could do wood, but I want to keep it with the rock. So I might have to do, I think there's some stone. They have white marble in any of these. I think this is the grounded mod. Has a ton of options, just not the marble. I could do like some kind of gravel, or I don't know if that would. See, all of these are too dark. I want to find something lighter that is not as noticeable next to the white marble. A lot of these are pretty dark. That's not too bad. Just wish they had this lighter one, darker in white, like the marble, like marble floor. I guess there is the marble floor tiles, but those are dark marble and not light. So I might just have to go some kind of concrete, like man-made concrete that is just closer to the color. I think there's one in here that's a little lighter. That's not too bad. No. That's probably the best. This one with the squares. I think I'll do this for now, and if we figure something out later, I'll just replace it. But we'll add this in. I can tell already that the color's quite a bit off. But it is, you know, as if somebody added it in there, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go full square entry there. Hopefully I'll be able to snap this next one right in. See if it'll catch on that other one. Snaps on the lower one, but not the one I want, of course. So I'll have to quap that in. But I'm gonna lay in the tile here, and I think this will work. This is good enough, close enough, and it's lighter than the other darker ones. Line this one up here. It's good. Hopefully this next one will snap here. Let's see. There we go. Finally got one to snap. Just need one more for this lower section. I'll just see if I can grab this one and slide it over. Line up the other tiles. There we go. Not too shabby. I think that'll work. And then I'm thinking I'll have the wall over there and then a railing on that edge. So when you come down these stairs, you kind of have this open entryway here that has a view out the water on the edge there. So let's go with this. So my next plan of action, I think, is putting in that front door. I think I want to start figuring out the layout of this place, and I find sometimes starting with that front door is kind of the best way to figure out how I'm using the space. Because if you come in that front door right there into the living room, that'll be right on that huge window overlooking the water, which will be perfect. And then back in that one little section that we added will be more of like the kitchen area. So it will basically come into the living room area and then the kitchen, maybe like an entertaining area. And the more personal spaces will be upstairs, like the bedroom, bathroom, shower, all of that kind of stuff. But I definitely want to get that door in. And I'm just trying to figure out if I want it on the edge or in the back. I could have it right against the stairs, but I don't know if I want it that close. I do like that outdoor patio, but it does take up quite a bit of space, which is a lot of space we could use on the inside of the house. But I think I'll figure that out. Okay. I put in this section here. Line this up and put the door in on this outer edge. So when you come up to the front door, you'll have that view of the water right there. And I think it makes more sense because if I put it in the other section and you walk in back there, I don't know if it'll work. I think this area is the best because when you walk in, you'll get that view out the window. You get the view off the edge here. I just think this is a good place to start. And I want to use these clean walls here. I think they'll work the best. I have a tendency to use that dark stone, but I just don't think that would work in this situation. So we'll snap these in here. I don't know if this last one's going to snap that way. Actually, I think I might want to 90 degree that one on the end there. So that finishes that off pretty good. This area down here is pretty big, but I think it'll work. I'll definitely put this one in at a 90 degree. Line it up here with the tiles. Make sure it's somewhat square. And I think it'll just finish off this whole area just a little better and not make it so large. Right there. So that way when you come down the stairs, it kind of forces you to turn around. We'll fill in that gap too, maybe with some more marble stairs. Okay, I'm going to add in some of the flooring. I have a tendency to do this with a lot of my builds, is I'll lay out the shape of the house, and a lot of times then I'll come back in later and put the flooring in and kind of use the flooring as a guide as to what my rooms are. So whether it be wood, like in this case, I'm using this lighter wood. I just like this for the cleaner houses, and I don't have a whole lot of options with the flooring here. But use this to figure out the shape and workable area of this living room. And I'll just sink this down just enough. But because of that angle, I can't. So I might have to figure out. I might need to figure out what I'm doing up there by that front door. So maybe I'll have like an entryway that will allow me to, fit that in there. Wow, I'm surprised that actually snapped. That could make my life easier for a lot of these. Some of these I know will not snap. Okay, already you can see just how big this workable space is going to be. This is going to be the living room. And I'm not going to be able to get this to snap, so I'm going to have to copy these in, which is a pain, especially when it comes to this wood flooring, because everything has to line up, and I don't want a huge crack or gap in between the floor pieces, and these aren't very forgiving when it comes to if they don't line up properly. So getting this one in here so it's not too noticeable is, there we go, is tough. That looks pretty good there. So that's why I prefer the snapping, but I'll just use some of these because they snap and they're already at the floor level, so I know it's perfect height. I'm not going to change the angle. I'm just going to drag it straight over, line it up with all the lines there, and hope that you lined it pretty good. It looks pretty good. So I'll add these back in. Hopefully they'll snap back in. Just going to fill in that one little gap here. Let's do it now. Because of the angle, there's nothing we can do about the floor and the way the boards run, but I think the best bet is to put this one under the other one so the angle changes on that straight piece. I find that matches up and is a little less noticeable that way than if it overhung, if it was on top of the other one. So at least that gives us a square edge there. And I'll put another piece in here so we complete this whole area, and hopefully these will snap after this. But as I said, getting these to line up can be kind of a pain sometimes. I want it to look good, so kind of create my own problems by doing this, but I don't even know if that's straight. I think the angle looks off. Okay, I think that will work. So I'm gonna put in all these floor pieces, and then we'll keep building. Okay, so got all these floor pieces in, and already I can tell you I'm going to change them. Because this is a lot of that light colored wood, and I think it looks good in the hallway. I'm not sure what else I would put in there. I would love to have the hallway different than the rest of the house, and try and use a different texture in the rooms. But also, say in this area here, we have the living room, which, okay, makes sense. But then at the same time, I don't want the kitchen to have the same flooring. And I definitely want this hallway here leading back into our second area to be a different texture. And obviously in this giant area, once we figure out what we're doing. But the flooring back here in this secondary area, I think I'm fine with it here. I just want to break it up in between. So this whole area is not all this light colored floor. This flooring here, this lighter colored blue kind of vault flooring, or I don't really remember where this one came from, but this is a good texture, and this is a good way to maybe break up this new area compared to the other area. So I'm going to try some of this and maybe fill in this area here with this flooring. Did find some of this section up here, right on the hallway here. I want to fill in some of this, but I do want to set it back a bit because I do kind of like that rough edge, because I don't have that texture as an object. So if I wanted this kind of rough rock edge here that is in the game, I like the look of that, and I can't really replicate that with any kind of object because those are all smooth and shiny edges, and I want to keep that edge. So I'm thinking I'm just going to place in some of these marble pieces on the edge here for the hallway. So once I start closing that in, we still have that cool little edge. I'm going to move my little work scaffold wood things a little closer so I don't fall off the edge every time I'm working here. So I'll just adjust these. But as I was saying, I want that edge to be kind of that rough edge, and I want to use some of this in-game texture that's already here in the quarry. So I think by doing this will be a good way of cleaning off that wall, making it a wall all the way to the ceiling, but at the same time saving some of that rough edge look. I've been going for a while, so I think I'm going to cut it out here or take a break. Okay, as you see, there's that rough edge that I wanted, and we established this living room area, this outer wall here with the front door, which I think is a good position, and this whole outer patio. I'm going to fill that gap in there too. As you come down the stairs and down to the front door, I also need to fill in that hole there under the grate or the metal grating, or figure out what I'm going to put there instead. But as you can see from up here, it's a good start, and we can definitely get that second level up there. If you see the space from the top of that wall up to the next level, it's probably just enough space to fit a second level, which is good because I do need to squeeze in the bedroom and the bathroom, which I want to do upstairs rather than all the way down that hall. Because I was thinking about just having this like entertaining area and have the bedrooms and stuff way over there, but that's quite a long walk down that hallway. So it has me thinking that maybe that secondary section all the way in the back is actually something added on or a little different. It's not necessarily the main living area. So maybe like a more of a headquarters type thing back there, maybe like a massive power armor or weapons area or training area or something like that. It's looking good, and I can't wait to put in the windows, just to see what that's going to look like, because this whole front section is just going to be all windows all the way down this hallway. And then once we get in here, I have no idea what this is going to be. It's such a big space, and I even have space down below and up above. So this could be really anything. So I got to figure out what I can use this for and not have to build 1 million rooms or something like that. This is going to be cool. I think this is going to be one of those builds that when I first start, I'm not quite sure what exactly is going to happen, but as I start building and things kind of start working in a certain way, it's starting to look pretty cool, and I definitely like the way it's going. But I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. And until next time, keep building.